Hey YouTube, this is Trains and Destinations, and in today's video we're going to do another laptop unboxing. So this laptop itself is pretty recent. Today we're going to take a look at this. This is an ASUS Vivobook, specifically the F512J. So these are the specs of the F512J. This is a pretty basic laptop. It costs around $300, $300 to $350 depending on where you look. And these are the specs. So it has a 15.6-inch 1080p display. I don't believe it's IPS. Could be. I'm not too sure. But as you can see, though, it has the Intel Core i3 1005 G1 processor, a 128GB SSD, 4GB of RAM, 802.11ac Wi-Fi 5, USB ports, of course, Windows 10, etc., 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 and a 37 watt-hour battery. So this is a pretty basic laptop. You know, in 2021, a 128GB SSD is pretty small, and also only 4GB of RAM is pretty small. In fact, it's more or less the bare minimum to run Windows. But again, you have to remember this costs about $300. And so if you can find this for $300, you know, the question is it a good value for that price point? And I think for the price point and the specs, it is pretty decent if you only have $300 to spend on a laptop. So this is the box. You see, you got your V for the Vivobook. Now this laptop, I believe, was made in, I think, December of 2020. So as this was made during the COVID pandemic, that's why you have this sticker. So this laptop has what's called the ASUS back guard. So essentially, the surface of the laptop has an antimicrobial surface, I believe, or an antimicrobial surface, antibacterial surface. And so the idea is that it essentially keeps itself germ-free, essentially. So yeah, that's because of the pandemic. That's something that laptops now have. At least ASUS laptops do. You know, their back guard, or their back guard essentially, or bacteria guard. And like other Vivobooks, you got yourself a carrying handle for the box. If you've had an ASUS Vivobook in the last few years, this unboxing will be pretty much familiar. Pretty much every ASUS laptop unboxing is the same. So to open the box, you just cut the seal, you kind of push in the handle, and then this whole thing just kind of lifts up like that. And then, of course, you got here the ASUS logo in search of incredible right there. You got the laptop here, and got the side pouch, in which, in the pouch, I forgot to, wait, let's see. Oh, here it is. Here's the charger. It's hiding in there. So this is your power adapter. It's pretty much the same power adapter ASUS has been using for years, but it's a good one. As you can see, your AC-DC conversion brick is right here. It's part of the actual plug, so it's an all-in-one unit, which is very nice. It means that this is going to be a very portable charger. So if you're going to take this laptop on the go, this is a nice little compact power adapter. So you see it's all nicely wrapped up, and of course you got your little plug right there. So this does not charge via USB Type-C. That's really something only more expensive laptops can do. But you know, that being said, though, this is still a pretty good charger. Then we'll take out the laptop itself. My specific one here is not going to look the best. It does have a few marks on it, and that's because ultimately I did buy this open box from an online computer auction, essentially. So this was not straight from the factory or from a retail store. So if the laptop doesn't look 100% perfect, well, that's why. Because I got this essentially open box, you know, from essentially a online auction computer warehouse type of thing. So in here you get two booklets. So you got your, I believe that's the warranty guide. So this does come probably for 1-year warranty. And then this is the user guide. I mean, there really isn't much to say here. You know, it tells you how to turn on the laptop, connect the DC power connector, plug in the AC adapter, lift to open display panel, press the power button. Although it does tell you to charge a notebook for 3 hours before using in battery mode for the first time. So, you know, even with modern batteries, it's always a good idea if you get a new piece of electronics, whether it's a phone or laptop, to allow it to fully charge before you start it up for the first time. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the laptop. Now, I might have featured another ASUS Vivobook on my page, in which if I did, this one is kind of similar to that, in that, you know, these Vivobooks have pretty similar designs. All the Vivobooks pretty much have pretty similar designs. This sort of body style has been used for a while. So it is a silver plastic finish. It's not metal. Like I said, there are a few minor marks on here, but you know, they're not that noticeable. And again, this was an open box unit. You got your ASUS logo there. And then on the back of the laptop, you got some info. And this particular one, I believe, this is called the F512J. So that's what the model name is. You have some nice size rubber feet, as you can see. A full length one for the top, and then at the bottom, 2 smaller ones. You also got your somewhat unimpressive looking speakers. And then, of course, your exhaust is through the back here. And the hinges look pretty weird, and I'll show you why in a sec. And yeah, this particular one is manufactured December of 2020. So, obviously made during the COVID pandemic, and that's why it has this bacteria guard. So anyway, opening up the laptop. Just move that out of the way. So this is a look at the notebook itself. Now, this does have the ASUS's ErgoLift hinge. So, to sort of demonstrate that, I'm going to open and close the lid. So you can see here at about this point, essentially, the whole keyboard will lift up a bit. ASUS says about 2 degrees or so to make the typing a bit better, since essentially the keyboard is slightly angled down. And so essentially the whole weight of the computer is resting on little feet on the bottom of the display here. So that's how they're able to do this hinge. And a lot of laptop makers are moving to this. I know I think the latest Acer Aspire laptops have this type of hinge. So do a few HPs, as well as MSI laptops. So I'm not really a big fan of this design, honestly, because I feel this puts a lot of unnecessary pressure on the display hinges. Not to mention, if you're using this laptop in your lap, instead of having a flat surface, you know, evenly distributed on your laptop, essentially on your lap, I should say, basically you're going to have this sort of sharp edge of this display on you, and then the bottom on you, so it's not going to be a flat, even surface like a traditional laptop. And I really don't see the benefit to this being elevated slightly, but hey, if you like that, then, you know, that's definitely a selling point. So, moving here, like I said, this does have the ASUS back guard. They really want to let you know it has that. So yes, ErgoLift hinge, auto tilt for typing comfort, has the nano edge display, and USB Type-C. Again, you cannot charge with USB Type-C, but it does have the port. We'll go over the ports in a sec. So this here is the display. It is a pretty impressive display. My camera can focus here. What is impressive about it is the fact that the bezels themselves are actually quite thin. These are very thin bezels. Even the bottom bezel is pretty thin. And then you got a decent sized trackpad here. Pretty smooth. Not the strongest click, but pretty decent. As far as the keys go, tiny bit of wobble, but pretty good travel, decent noise. So I think this is going to be a pretty average keyboard. Not bad, not good, but serviceable. You got your 10th Gen Core i3 sticker. So yes, this does have the 10th Gen processor. It doesn't have the new 11th Gen, at least not yet. Going over the keyboard, this is a backlit keyboard. So even though this is only a $300 laptop, it does have a backlit keyboard. I believe there's 3 different stages to the backlighting. So that's pretty cool. What else? You got your sort of function keys here. You got your power button there. Got a very small number pad, but at least it does have it. You got your display brightness there, volume controls there, and like I said, your keyboard backlight is there. And then this does have a fingerprint sensor too. So for $300, you are getting some premium features, such as the thin bezels, the fingerprint sensor, the backlit keyboard. So, you know, that's pretty nice, I gotta say. Pretty nice for a very cheap, you know, affordable laptop. Now, going over the ports on the left-hand side here, you got yourself a micro SD card slot, headphone jack, your USB Type-C, as well as your HDMI, a USB port, and where you put in your charger. And then on the other side of the laptop, you just have 2 USB ports and then indicators for power and charging. And that's about it. It's a pretty thin laptop. I mean, it's not the thinnest in the world, but again, pretty serviceable. And that's all there is really to this. So I'm not going to turn it on. I've not even plugged it in yet, but I just figured, you know, this is a pretty popular laptop. So I figure I might as well do an unboxing, show you guys what the unboxing experience is like, and tell you what the specs are. Again, I think that for $300 or less, this actually is a pretty decent value for a laptop. But again, the specs are very basic. So if you just need something basic, this could work for you.